Hello, this is Steve Klein with FSBO Smarts, episode 5. Let's kick it. Hello, this is Steve Klein with FSBO Smarts, bringing you the best tips, tools, and techniques that we've learned along our for sale by owner journey so you can save thousands of dollars on your next home sale and become FSBO Smart. So it's July 22nd, exactly 1 month since the last time we met. And in that time, we've done quite a bit. And what I mean by that is, I think the last time we talked, we were going to get everything online, get the flyer ready, get the price ready for the home, and all of the things that center around the marketing. Now, remember what I was talking about earlier about preparing and staging the home. I talked about staging the interior of the home, everything around getting those pictures done. But what I didn't mention is there was also a lot of exterior things that was done as well. Like we've been also maintaining the grounds, like the grass, because we've got a half acre in the back, and also there's grass in the front. We had to make sure that's maintained, watered. There's sprinklers. There's no sprinkler system there, so we had to actually manually set up sprinklers. I have a timer that I have that waters the side of the house, and I had to make sure that our hedges are trimmed. So there's a lot of preparation that was happening outside the house as well. So I want to mention that because that's something of note. The other thing is everything that we need to get the house on the market. And so I centered around two distinct items. One was the hardcover flyer, the hard flyer, the flyer sign, and also the online presence. So let's break those three down. So first, the flyer. Now, I spent some time getting the flyer that we had from our last sale, which saved me a lot of time. In fact, if you have a template that you've used in the past, I would suggest using that template. Now, I'm going to speak about another template that I found online with the FSBO.com website, where after you input all of your property description and photos, it will actually generate a flyer for you. And it's pretty darn good, in fact. But I'm going to come back to that in a second. What I want to talk about is creating the flyer from scratch. And what you want to do is whatever flyer you'd have, and I don't have a visual here because we're on the podcast, but if I had to describe it, when you look at the flyer, and I've heard this from a marketing class I took years ago, is that your eyes will go from left to right and then around clockwise and then back into the center. So what you always want to do is you want to have your larger photo to the upper left. Now, this isn't set in stone or anything. This is just what I would recommend. And so what I did on this particular flyer is on the very top, you want the key thing, the key element that you want to bring out. So what I wanted to bring out is that we bought a URL. I bought a URL for this because I'm a web guy, right? So anyway, I bought my domain, and then I wanted to point the domain to whatever site that I decided to use. In this case, I did it FSBO.com, and they gave me a specific URL that was specific to whatever I signed up with. It might have been like a 1234 or whatever the number was. And I just pointed my domain name to that number. And then I also created a link from FSBO.com to my Zillow account. We'll get into that in a second, how that all worked. But it's pretty slick because now I've got two different links linking back to the same ad. And this is done without even a real estate agent. So I think that the visibility that FSBO is getting these days, it will actually be even better than the RMLS, which the realtors will always promote, the multiple listing service that a realtor uses. I think Zillow is almost doing a lot better, in my opinion, than an RMLS is doing. So anyway, this is just a little bit of a tangent I'm going on right now. But getting back to the flyer, your flyer you want the flyer's picture, whatever the main picture of your house is, you want it to be the big picture right underneath that title. So if I didn't have the domain name, I probably would have just put, 3-bedroom ranch or something like that. And then right underneath that, put the price in big bold letters. The other thing you could do is you can say just for sale by owner across the top. So that could become your title. Whatever the big text is, that should be on the top. Then second to the upper left, again, the big picture. And usually that's going to take about, I would say, a third of the page or maybe a half. And then below that, the address. So right away it's visible. Then you have on the right, if you can imagine, about 4 to 5 smaller pictures going from a kind of a vertical. So the first picture could be the kitchen. The second picture could be the dining room. The next 2 pictures could be the bedrooms. And that's what I chose to do on this one. Then there's about a little bit of space below the address. And what I did was I put about 2, I think 3, I don't have the flyer in front of me right now, but I think there's 2 or 3 pictures of the outdoors on that. So that way, if someone grabbed that flyer, they have a taste of what your house is all about. And really, it's just reminding them of what they were looking at when they drove by, because they're going to take it back home. They're going to look at it and go, oh yeah, that's that house that had this, or this is that house that had that. It's just something that they can remember you by. So don't get too caught up in getting everything on there, but you need to have about, I would say, 7 to 10 key photos if you can fit that much in there. Now remember, you only have an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper in front of you, so whatever you can get on there is good. And I would always suggest to write it out or draw it out. So what I do is I take a piece of paper, and you can do this right now, is draw the picture frame of where you want the pictures to be on your flyer, and then just kind of like scribble a little scribbly of where you want the titles to be, where you want the description to be. Now, I should point out that when I had the address right below that main photo, right below that, I had a really simple description, because the flyer, there's not a lot of room for description. You're describing everything with the photo. You know how they say a picture is worth 1,000 words? Well, you really want to do that here. You really want to think of the picture speaking volumes about your house. Now, the description itself can be just bullet items, and I would prefer that. And actually, I would suggest that. I would suggest getting just the bullet items out of your house. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, great neighborhood, half-acre lot, beautiful maintained home inside and out, new roof, brand new paint, whatever, whatever is the showcase quality of your home, you put that in the bullets. I think I had 4 to 5 bullets. Okay, here, I got it right here. Here's the flyer. Okay, so mine says, great home with recent updates, new roof and paint, in parentheses, 3-bedroom, 1-bath ranch with den. And then I, in parentheses, put 2-car garage. So right there in the first 2 bullets, you have everything about the house. The second one, well-maintained landscaping with covered back patio for grilling year-round to entertain guests or family. Now, notice the psychologicalness of that statement. It's kind of enticing people to now engage and imagine themselves there with guests and family. The fourth bullet here. Nice big half-acre backyard with plenty of room for gardening with a double gates for easy access. Great for trailer or RV parking. So again, I'm emphasizing the land, the fact that you can put a trailer in the backyard, the fact that it has double gates so that you can drive to the backyard. So all of these are on purpose, and these are purposefully written so that it would engage the potential buyer to again, visualize that it's theirs. That's what we want to do. This is really exciting. Okay, and then finally on the 5th one here, the 5th bullet, includes washer and dryer and side-by-side refrigerator and glass top stove. So again, I'm emphasizing that I want to get rid of these utilities. I do not want to take them with me. I can't. My mom can't take them with her. She's in an assisted living facility. And after all, I don't want these either because I already have my own appliances. And some buyer may just need them. And it's a good enticement. And then I finally end it with other amenities include fireplace, French doors to the den, walnut and filbert, and hazelnut trees. Now, I put that there because I want them to know that this is an acreage that can be fruitful if they so desire, and that we do actually have walnuts and hazelnuts out there. It's kind of cool, and I didn't know this growing up, but walnuts are actually pretty healthy for you. Who knew, right? And I just happened to grow up with them. So whoever buys this house would be able to have that as well. This would be like a benefit for them. So again, now that I have the flyer in front of me, I've got 5 pictures going on the right vertical, and then 2 more pictures showing the front yard and the backyard, giving a nice open view of the backyard, and then again the main house picture. And on the top I have for sale by owner. It doesn't look like I put the URL, except I did put the URL in the lower right. So that's and then my name and my wife's name. Even though my wife's not on the house, she's going to be also a contact in case they need to get a hold of someone. So that's why I put her name there. So yeah, this flyer's now that I'm looking at it and describing it to you, it's kind of exciting. And the other exciting part is I got a sign, and I'm going to put this on our for sale by owner site, the FSBOsmarts.com/toolkit. And you will get a link there. There'll be a link there to the sign that I purchased, and you can get them on Amazon. And it's incredible. So get this. When I built my sign by myself, I had to get a 4x4 and a post digger. And I had to dig this hole with this post digger and put the post about, oh gosh, I don't know. The sign was about, it was supposed to be like, 6 feet off the ground, and you had to build a kind of an arc out so that you can put the for sale by owner sign on it. Just like I wanted it to look exactly like a realtor. And so I got this post digger. I got this, I think it was a 6 foot tall 4x4 piece of wood. When I put that wood down, I didn't realize that you had to calculate an extra few feet, because when you dropped it down into the ground, well, you lose a few feet. So I think I lost 2 or 3 feet on it. So it was this super shrunken sign. And so what I had to do is I had to add more wood to it. Now, this is back in 2005 when I first did my first for sale by owner home. Now, fast forward to now, and by the way, I did use that sign for a few times, but if you fast forward now, you can buy them pre-built. And all this was it was a metal. There was a sort of like a stainless steel base, and it has a spike in it. So you use a hammer, and the hammer, by the way, didn't work because we had rocks in our dirt. And luckily my dad had a sledgehammer. And let me tell you, I don't know what the weight of this sledgehammer was, but all I did was let it drop on the spike. And within a few strikes, it was down into the ground. Now the plate, what it does, it has a spike, but the spike has these 2 plates on it. So when you get it into the ground, it stops. And then this hollow sort of plastic tube of this, the realtor, it looks like a realtor's sign, but it's actually, you use it for a for sale by owner sign. And it just drops right over that and locks into place. It has a bolt and it locks. And so you basically fabricate this whole thing yourself. You just build it. And it has the instructions. It has a sign. You have to buy the for sale by owner sign. You put your phone number on the white part. So you can actually either draw it, or what we did is we got these stenciled numbers and put it on there. And then the other cool thing is you get a flyer box. You buy a flyer box and you bolt it onto the side of the sign. And so it looks perfect. It looks like you're a professional real estate agent without being one, and you have this for sale by owner sign. So people right away take a look at it. It's big. It's a big white sign. So I was totally stoked by this. This is really exciting. And because we get a lot of traffic down this street, I'm sure we're going to get a lot of people stopping by and taking a flyer. Now, the other thing was getting color prints are more expensive. But if you go to Home Depot and you get I think it's 100 copies or 200 copies, they give you a discount. And so I think it was like $50 for 200. And then you could get the black and white for really inexpensive, like a fraction of what it is for the colored copies. And so all I did was I got I think it was like 200 black and whites and then the colored, all for a total of $75. And what I'll do is I'm going to put 30 in the front, and I've already done this, by the way, 30 color in the front, followed by about 50 black and white in the back. And I'm just going to keep a box of these in the house so that if they run out, I just refill it. And I did mention the price. So the price of the comparables in our area for similar square footage and the similar lot size, a similar half-acre lot, houses around our area right now for this type of house is going for $339,000 to $345,000. And so I priced mine quite a bit more. Yes, I put mine for $359,000. I know what you're saying. You're saying, Steve, that's crazy. That's like way over the market. And I know it is, but it's also my childhood home, and it's sort of sentimental to me. And I just want to see if I get any takers. I mean, if I don't, I can always lower the price, right? But I don't know. It's just I went back into the mode of thinking, yeah, do I really want to sell it? I mean, this is where I grew up. There's so many memories here, but I know I need to sell it. So bottom line is, if I don't get any takers, I can always lower it back to the normal standard price in a couple months. But I want to see if I get any takers. So that's the whole goal. We'll see what happens. So now I'm going to go on to discuss the website, which is really cool. So first of all, I did get the for sale by owner, FSBO.com. I paid the money for that, and that is that's up and running. I also have a listing on Zillow.com. And as I said before, I've got my domain name, and if they enter the domain name that I've also put on my flyer, then it'll take them to that site as well. So this is something that you can do as well. Let's just say you have your name. Let's say it's John Smith. So let's say you're John Smith and you want the Smith House, smithhouse.com. You can buy that, and then just with a few clicks of a mouse, you can point that URL to your for sale by owner link. And if you don't know how to do that, no big deal. You can actually have your hosting provider walk you through it. It's pretty easy. And if you don't want to go that route, you don't have to. That's just something I chose to do. You don't even really need a custom URL like that. You can just buy something on FSBO.com. You can buy what they call a listing. Or the Zillow.com, like I said, Zillow is free. And so you just have to sign up. You give them your email address. You say that you're the owner of this property. And then you just make a listing, and then you're up and running. So here is the listing that I put on Zillow. They give you a little bit more room for the description. And unlike the flyer, you do want to be more descriptive here because people can take some time and read it, right? So right away, I say, check out our virtual tour at, and then I give the URL that I bought. That way, right away, they can go to the FSBO, because if they're on Zillow, it'll take them to the FSBO or vice versa. And then I say, I will only answer questions directly at, and I give the number. The reason I do that is because Zillow, it looks like they're catering to real estate agents. So even though my home is a for sale by owner home, right away at the top, it says, contact agent, take tour, or get pre-qualified. So those are the options that it gives you. And when you click on those options, it puts you in contact with a real estate agent. So just make sure that if you don't want people to go to there first, or at least take note of you, because they might automatically just click that thinking, oh, I need to contact an agent. Well, no, you're trying to sell this for sale by owner, right? So Zillow isn't very good for sale by owners right now, and that might change in the future. But just to let you know, Zillow right now is from my research, it's one of the top search engines right now for home sales. So if you're looking for a home or people are buying homes, they're going to be looking on Zillow. So anyway, I say, yeah, contact us directly. And then I say, great classic architecture home, a huge backyard. Dogs can practically walk themselves. I don't know where I came up with that, but I thought that was kind of funny. And then feel free to contact us directly. And I say, to make an appointment, as this is a for sale by owner. Again, I emphasize that because it's not emphasized at all on the site. Pre-approval prior to viewing is requested. A great home with the newer roof and paint, 3-bedroom, 1-bath ranch home with new additions including 2 large bedrooms with the window view facing a beautiful half-acre wide-open green space, a fireplace, and a den with French doors that open up to a covered outdoor patio. Front yard has a U-turn driveway and a 2-car garage. Backyard has a double gates for easy access, and trailer and RV parking is available. Also a covered patio for outdoor barbecue in the summer or stay dry during the rainy winter weather. Room for a garden, pool, pets, etc. And then again, I'm emphasizing the qualities and the things that you can do with this. Walnut tree and hazelnut trees on the property. Again, I emphasize that on here as well as I did on the flyer. And here's another thing. Great area and schools, because I feel it really is. Well maintained. And then I say the fine print. And this is where I just wanted to kind of like she said, this is a for sale by owner, no agents, please. And that's all I put on there. And then right below that, they have a thing called what the seller loves about this home. Now, I thought I already did what I liked about this home, but I guess you can also put a section here on what you love about it. So I said, I love the large size bedrooms in the back and how the French doors open up to the back covered patio. I love the enormous backyard, which is great for home gardening, barbecue parties, swimming pools, pets. Because right now, by the way, there's no pool there. But when I was growing up, we did have swimming pools. So I know that I know the possibilities. But if they came over, if they never knew it, they would probably never have even thought about it. So I want to emphasize it here. Pets, because we've had pets as well. Extra area for trailer parking, because I know, again, we've had a trailer in the back before. Whatever you think of. And then I say, if the backyard isn't big enough, there's a park at the end of the street, which is true. There's a park at the very end of the street. So I wanted to emphasize that as well. I also love the fact that it's close to the suburbs and malls and the city, and yet you feel that you're in a rural area because of the large lot size all around. Now, this is another thing that you can do on your home sale. Emphasize the good qualities. Obviously, you would always want to do that, right? But when you're writing this out, you may not think of the things. So think of just the simple things, like if there's a park down the street. If you're in a good school district, point that out. If you're not, then, maybe don't point that out. But point out whatever the good quality is about your house and your yard. Think about the things that you've loved or you've grown to love about your area. And then I say, I love the city, where it's a place where homeowners take pride in their homes, making it a highly valuable area. And homes of older and newer have kept their value over time. I wanted to emphasize that because some homeowners grab a house for value. So I'm trying to cater to everyone's particular interest. And it's true, this area has really kept the value. Over the years, it's gone up steadily. Not a big significant jump, but it's gone up significantly over the years. And then here I say, I love how this home is a great fit for just about anyone, from those starting a family or those couples just starting out, or even single persons wanting to get into their first home. It's worth the trip to take a tour. You just might like what you see and build memories of your own that will last a lifetime. Okay, now I got a little melodramatic there, I know. But you get my point. I love to write. First of all, I like to write. But the second of all, I love to express the whole picture of what these people, these new homeowners, are going to value in your property. And how cool is this, right? Now, obviously, I grew up here, so I am a little biased, and I get to showcase what I love. And that's what you do, too. You get to showcase the best qualities of your house, what you love about your house. Now, be careful, because when you're doing this, you may get a little sentimental and attached to your home, the same one that you're trying to sell, right? And I totally have been there. I mean, I was there, just recently doing this. It does get to your heartstrings sometimes, but you have to be a little bit impartial and also a little bit partial. So you have to be close enough to remember and feel and know what it's like to be at your house, to know what it's like to enjoy the things of your house. At the same time, you have to start letting go. Part of the letting go is also the staging of your home, the taking of the personal photos down. That probably in itself was also kind of getting you into that mode, into that new mindset. But this is a time when you actually get to showcase the things that you love. So that's my whole point. The other thing is on the photos, if you can put a photo of your for sale sign, your for sale by owner sign on Zillow, that will also help. Because if they say for sale by owner, they see that big red. A lot of people see it's the standard white frame with the red and then the white letters that say for sale by owner. That's a really standard site. Like if people see that, they go, oh, it's one of those. It's for sale by owner. And when they say one of those, they know that they need to contact you, being the for sale by owner, and not go through a realtor. Because the first time you sign with a realtor, or a first time some realtor comes through and shows your house and you allow that to happen, then you may be liable to pay them a commission. And that's what you're trying to avoid by selling your house by yourself. To sell your house on your own, you're trying to avoid paying the real estate agent that commission. So it's important not to, first, one, not to sign with the realtor right now, at least right at the beginning. And then second, you want to make sure that you are emphasizing that it's a for sale by owner house. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, wait a minute, Steve, you're going to do this for sale by owner. Why would you even entertain a real estate agent? Well, there could be a plan B, right? I mean, if we don't sell this thing in a certain amount of time, my mom she's needing these funds. We're already helping her pay her mortgage, and we probably shouldn't be doing that. We're racking up a little bit of debt in doing this. And so what we're trying to do is pay her debt off and then have her have a little bit of a nest egg so that she can live in her assisted living facility for years to come. Now, I know the cool thing is once she gets out from under this mortgage, she will only have her assisted living facility payment, which then she nearly breaks even with. She has some benefits that my dad had with his Veterans Administration, and also because he was a vet and served in the armed forces, and also he had a small pension. So between those and her retirement, her Social Security, she's going to be set. But without the sale of this house, she will not be set. And we won't be set because we're going to be footing part of the bill. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this because not that many people know that we're doing this. We've been pretty much helping my mom through this. But I think that to sell this house is really what's key right now. And so that everything's focusing on this house sale for my mom. We're going to keep her in her facility. She's thriving there. Even the neighbors across the street that know my mom really well has really stated how they've seen her improve where she's at. So I want to keep her there, and she now wants it. Before, I couldn't imagine her wanting to live anywhere else. Now she can't even imagine. I mean, she's actually like, she doesn't understand. We need to sell this house, like, Mom, you need this house. We need to, she doesn't get it. So, and that's the other thing too, is that my mom has a slight dementia. And so they've put me in charge of her, I'm her, what do you call it? Executor? Not executor. I'm her financial fiduciary, and I'm also her power of attorney for all matters financial and health-wise. So I've got that power of attorney, even though I technically usually don't like that kind of responsibility. For my mom, I don't mind it at all because, like I said before, she's done a lot of things for me throughout the years. So did my dad. And so why not honor them and honor my mom and also my dad's memory for helping my mom all I can. So that's the goal of this house sale anyway. It's just all for my mom. While I didn't really want to sell the home, I was hoping maybe one of my sons would end up having it one day. I know right now, anyway, we can't afford to wait. So it's just the way things have to be right now. And that's okay. Hopefully it will go to someone that will really appreciate the home and give it the same attention that we have. Maybe it'll be a legacy for someone else in the future. Wow, I didn't think I'd go there, but anyway, yeah, so I guess the section on what you love about this home, I guess, brings up memories for you. So just keep that in mind. Finally, there's some facts and features about your home that Zillow will ask you about. And this is the single family, the year it was built. Does it have a detached garage or a covered patio? Things like that, so it'll walk you through those types of things. And sometimes it'll have those things already for you. So be prepared for that as well. Sometimes their information isn't accurate. You'll have to sometimes challenge Zillow. The FSBO.com site was actually a lot better. I might go into detail on that in a future episode, but it was pretty slick. And the fact that you could enter the same description, I pretty much entered the same description over there. But the nice thing is it would present a flyer, and you could choose the pictures that you wanted to use in the flyer. I still like my personal flyer better, but that's just because I'm biased. I like to create flyers. I like to create those flyers, but the one that, if you don't want to create them or if you don't like them, the one that FSBO.com created was just fine. And in fact, it actually puts your URL in the flyer. So people know that they can go to FSBO.com if they grab a flyer and they can see more information about your house. So that's it. We were about a month and a half late than we wanted to get our house on the market. But here it is, mid-July. We'll have 2 more weeks in July and hopefully we'll get some takers on it. And if we don't sell it before August, we may have to take it off the market. Let me explain. So when I told you earlier, well, it was about 4 or so episodes ago, how we lost my aunt, and she's our dear aunt that lived in Colorado. Well, my uncle's still alive, and he's been really heartbroken since my aunt died. And we wanted to, we had planned to go to Colorado for our vacation. We just didn't know that was going to happen. So when we went in March, we promised that we would come back and still do our vacation like we had planned in August. And so, yep, here it is, almost August again. And I just wanted to be able to have this house on the market for a couple of months and have a sale pending before we move, or before we visited Colorado. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So I guess the point is, we're going to go to Colorado. It's going to be a 2-week vacation. If we have a sale on the house, a sale pending, we do. If we don't, we're going to take it off the market, because I don't want a for sale by owner sign there when no one is in town to even show the house. And I just don't like the idea of some, like the neighbors look in and people aren't around, and it just sets a bad precedence. It sets a bad precedent. So I just want to wait. And so if that's the case, I'm going to have to uproot that whole post my whole for sale by owner sign. And we'll just cross that bridge when we come to it. But hopefully we'll have a sale pending here in a couple weeks. If not, then we'll just wait. So anyway, that's pretty much it. It's been a little bit longer episode, but I wanted to kind of go over those. I wanted to go over those things with you because I thought it was really important. So what we've learned in this episode is the flyer, the sign, which again, you can go to FSBOsmarts.com/toolkit and see what sign I used there. I'll also put links to Zillow as well as FSBO.com. I think those are really key and really good quality sites. And lastly, we talked about the price, a comparable price. Don't do what I did, because I still don't know if I'm going to get any takers, but I'm going to try this for at least a month and a half. We'll just see how it goes. The house, I priced the house way over the retail price. And so either someone's really going to want it and spend the extra money to get the lot, or if they're going for financing, a bank probably wouldn't finance that anyway if it's going to be overpriced over the appraised value of the home. So that wouldn't fly unless someone really wants the house and they're going to pay the extra cash. So just keep that in mind. This is just me and my family home. It's sentimental. So don't do as I do, but just know that I'm just doing an experiment. You can experiment too if you want. Just know that you may not sell the house right away if you're going to do something like that. So until next time, this is Steve Klein sharing with you our FSBO journey and hopefully helping you save thousands of dollars on your own FSBO journey through our own tips, tricks, and experiences. So until next time, this is Steve Klein signing off. Bye-bye.